Hello and welcome to the Every Other Saturday podcast for a brand new episode this week where it's been the previous week's been pretty positive for where we came off last week. Obviously, the defeat to Motherwell, team needed a response. Obviously, players were kind of dropping out and getting injured and stuff, and the concerns last week were lying with how do we kind of get by this point with the attacking players that we've got out the squad and get positive results. But we went to Benfica and we kind of held our own for large parts of the game. Obviously, we had to soak up good bits of pressure for Benfica, but nothing really too kind of clear cut apart from our own doing really with the two goals that night. So probably unfortunate not to see out a victory over there, which is remarkable considering the kind of players that we had available and the players that we had missing. So good result in terms of that on Thursday, and obviously that will be the talking point towards the end of the episode. Looking forward to that game on Thursday. Obviously, the Hibs game last night. The talking points are endless with that one as the game is finished. But we'll go on to that next. If you do enjoy the podcast, as always, you could like, subscribe, and share. Hibs last night felt like this game just would never end with how long the added time was, the decisions. Um, Not our best game, but I don't think it really had to be. We just had to go there and win, and we did that. So very cagey kind of opening 20 minutes. It was kind of couldn't really get a foothold in the game. Hibs were. I still feel Hibs have got a good set of players to go and kind of. It's always the final ball with Hibs.
I
They were in good areas and they just could never really do anything with the ball.
mean, they've got a good enough squad that they shouldn't be where they are in the league, I would say. Um, it was just a cup game, really. There wasn't expecting us to turn up and play the way we've been playing, really. It was just sort of one, as we say, get the result, get into the semi final, and try our best to make sure that we've got enough, obviously, players to play the game. Obviously, injuries I mean, we're cursed, man. It really feels like we are cursed. I mean, my cousin comes on, then goes off. So, I mean, obviously Thursday night, I'm not too sure what we're going to be like, but aye, hopefully he'll be back. Hopefully my man, like Dujon, will be back as well. But aye, it wasn't a classic in terms of our point of view, but we just had to get the result, and of course the referees won us the game apparently, so that's what
I
we
know. Obviously, talking point one is the penalty. Obviously, that's sort of the first bit of action that happens. I mean, a couple of minutes before that, actually, Dessers robs Jordan Obita, gets through and goal, and I'm screaming at him just to hit the ball, like, and he takes that extra touch inside.
like.
He narrows the angle for himself. I just don't understand what his thought process with that. Obviously, try and get away from the defender, but surely as a striker, just try to get a shot off as quick as you can towards the goal. He narrowed the angle for himself, and that was something that should have been put in the back of the net for me. If you've got a competent striker up front, that's a goal. And then obviously a couple minutes later, the penalty happens. Do John Sterling, nice work down the right hand side, and I don't think you can really debate this. For me, there was good debate going on in Viaplay comms, right enough, with Michael Stewart talking
So
about it for 5 minutes because
I'll talk.
there was a foul just a minute before the penalty had happened. It was apparently more deeming a free kick than it was a penalty for us. But I think it's a foul in the box. He's been tripped. It's a penalty. I just don't know. If it was the other end, Hibs would be claiming for it, and I personally wouldn't see any other way that that's given, not given as a penalty personally.
No, it's a penalty for me, 100%. But obviously we had to listen to that drivel last night. The fact you have to pay money, you listen to Michael Stewart commentate is, honestly, it's
No,
diabolical.
no. If anybody from Viaplay is like, watching this podcast or
Aye,
sees this, like, please just for the benefit of your own channel, take
I
him
know.
off the
Take him off.
commentary because, I mean, every single decision that went in Rangers' favour, he was trying to spin the narrative to go against Rangers in any way possible, and it was every decision. It was the two red cards. It was the penalty. It was just, it was boring to listen to because it's just expected with him now. But obviously we get off to the good start. Tavernier misses a penalty. I think it's a really kind of poor penalty as well. But Lindstrom's eager enough to slot it in, bundle it in, sorry, into the back of the net, and we go 1-0 up. Um, Very kind of good, passionate celebration for Lundstrom
It's a
as
it's
well.
a it's a man that, as I say, is fighting. He's fought. I mean, for me, in the last two games, I feel like Lundstrom's probably been one of the top best players for us. Obviously, get man of the match last night. Thursday, I thought he was immense as well, but very passionate. And for me, hopefully it's a man that we tie down, we get the contract thing. Maybe he's already, as he said before, he's already what's it in podcast before he said that he's like to play the rest of his career here. I wouldn't mind it. It's a guy, as I say, fighter, warrior.
And he's
For me,
available all the time. Like
exactly.
literally, but game to game, and come on, spoke about that on his press conference yesterday. He says there's only a small group of these players that are available for as how long as he wants them to be available for, and how often they can keep on kind of churning out games. And it's not as if it's just kind of a game a week. We're playing Thursday away in Lisbon to Benfica, a top test for everybody involved. Getting
Mm.
through that and then playing another 90 minutes and Sunday, it takes a lot of kind of mental skill and physical strength to be able to do that. And I feel like obviously John Lundstrom's got all of the attributes. You look on the other hand, like Ryan Jack comes on against Benfica and he's already injured. Well, that's why he wasn't involved yesterday. So that's kind of the glaring signs for me. Lundstrom, I think he's, as you say, he's put on record how much he loves it here. He's probably one of the manager's favourite in the whole team because of how obviously available he is and his performances since he's been here. I have no
I
question
think he's
about it. I give him the new contract.
I think also a lot of these players, I think under Clement have matured as well. Like just his attitude as well to play. Like there's times where maybe somebody wasn't maybe playing the way we wanted to play, and you could see Lundstrom sort of, you know what I mean, being one of the leaders. But obviously, as I say, Lundstrom for me, man of the match. I thought he was immense on Thursday as well. Somebody who wasn't immense for me last night and on Thursday, Connor Goldson. I mean, this isn't me coming on here and you know what I mean, hanging Connor Goldson. I'm saying he's had two poor performances, and it's simple as that. I just the pressure he put Buntler on early on. I mean, I don't know why he's passing it back to the keeper, like that for me. And then Thursday, obviously we had a fantastic, I thought, defensive performance. But
I think that was probably the only thing Thursday for me was the own goal and
the own
some of
goal,
his kind
right?
of decision making at times. I thought he had a decent defensive display, but in the Hibs game, I thought there was a couple of times where he's really
He
ropey with
was
his passes and stuff.
even. I thought for me he's just not been at it. But as I say, just not been at it at all for me, Connor Goldson. As I say, I don't understand why. Obviously, with Butland, he sort of passed it back to him, and instead of playing it long, I just thought he usually does that.
But even if he goes to pass it back to Butland, I mean, it's a horrible pass to give
No,
anybody
it's
because
horrendous.
look how much time he has to get that under control, and there's a player chasing into him. Like it was a poor pass. We really did get away with that. To be honest, I thought
He
that
was
would end up in
gettable.
the
I thought
back
he
of
was
the
just
net.
gettable and all, man. Anytime Hibs had the ball and they were going forward, I just thought, nah, they're going to hang me on my toe here. And then obviously the boy tried to hang me for the penalty. I don't know what that was all about. Where
Aye.
he tried to get down and Connor Golson tries to help him up and he just flappers on the floor. But also the together. I wanted to talk about noise, just like to see the togetherness of the team. It's just fantastic to see. I said to you, obviously Thursday, obviously Dean Maria on Yilmaz and all that kind of stuff. The couple of tackles he was getting stuff like that. But just the fact that the team were all together. Usually, as I say previously under managers, it feels like the team just done there. Do you know what I mean? But I just like the togetherness, as I say. Clement's brought this team really together, and it feels like we're all playing for the one cause. Instead of you know what I mean, individuals playing for maybe moves elsewhere or what have you. It just feels like everyone's together fighting. And you look at the numbers we've got as well. Obviously through injury, and just continue, get on, mate, and keep going. That's just the way it feels like. And Fabio. Thought Fabio's goal obviously was immense. And Thursday as well, thought Fabio was another one of the top performers. The only I'd really change about obviously Thursday night going into Benfica game for me is I'd be sitting Dessers out and I'd be playing Kemar Roof. I'd like to see Kemar Roof get a bit more minutes, especially for Thursday. European tie. I just think we have to go at Benfica early on and get at them. I just think you start Kemar Roof, man.
We'll get to that team selection when we're at the
We'll
end,
get
right?
there, we'll get
But
there.
I'll probably surprise you with what I've selected then. Aye, so that was obviously the team that started, the exact same team that started in Benfica. I was kind of more
Like,
along the lines of some rotation. I thought I did put Ryan Jack in. Obviously, didn't know he get injured out there. I thought even if so, Nico Raskin could have maybe came in, Balogun for Suter, maybe give McCausland a start, some kind of along the lines of that. But he went with the team that performed so well, and they went again, and obviously got the result. The question marks that I have, it's kind of overdue John Sterling. In the fact that he was sitting on the bench with an ice pack in his hamstring, and then he's starting the next game, and then goes off with a hamstring injury. It just doesn't seem like that was thought out very much. Personally, I don't know who kind of gave him the all clear to say, "Ah, you're fine to play," and then he pulls up halfway through the game with a hamstring. So hopefully that's all right. McCausland as well. Two players again in the same position. Just can't get any luck with the injuries at the moment. Um, and Clement did speak about he was maybe optimistic that they'll both be all right for Thursday, but we'll kind of need to wait and see. If it's anything worse for Sterling, his hamstring, you're looking at 3 to 4 weeks. McCausland, don't really know what the kind of situation was where he went down, but hopefully he's going to be all right. Um, and obviously Matondo coming back into action is kind of key at the moment because he'll have to then pick up for where Dujon Sterling and McCausland have left off and play a lot of games now. So speedy recovery, hopefully, to both of they two. You're looking at maybe Todd Cantwell coming back in for the game on
Well,
Thursday, Sunday. That seems to be around about his kind of diagnosis that he'll be back within the next week or two. And then going into the international break, I mean, that's the perfect time to get Abdallah Sima back up to full fitness, which could be an absolute key player going into the run in. But for the team that we've been able to put out over the two games and the players that then lost and brung on, there's still good enough quality in there, and there's players stepping up and just being big players for the team. I mean, you look at Ridvan Yilmaz, another really good display at left back. As we obviously already spoke on, John Lundstrom, Tom Lawrence putting in a lot of yards now. A lot of kind of good work for the team. Diomande has only been here a month or two, and he's pretty much nailed on starter. He's here, and that's kind of what we've not been able to do really when we've brought in new players is integrate them in so fast. So nice to see Diomande, and obviously the main man at the moment is Fabio Silva on the left hand side. I mean, he's shown his quality. Really good goal against Hibs, and he was unlucky not to actually get a goal away to Benfica as well with the chance he had, but he set up basically the two goals. So, aye, really impressed with what I've seen with him, and there's been talk about him maybe staying next season as well. He says he's happy here. That I think will be
don't
a
give me
hard one
hope.
to a hard one to make happen because he's a luxury player to really have on loan with the kind of wages and stuff he's on, but. We'll see how that one kind of progresses, and then finishing up in the Hibs game, I think we need to talk about the red cards.
But
Um,
red card, mate. There's
Jordan
no.
Abiti, obviously, he had the one where I think he get booked already quite early on in the game. He pushed McCausland off the pitch when he was going off injured,
They,
and then
I,
obviously gets sent off for the kind of flap with his hands at Ravi Matondo, which are kind of obviously you're saying it's a red card. I'm inclined to agree with that.
I'd have booked him for obviously when he's pushing my cousin and the fitness thing off and all. I'd have booked him there, but definitely was going to get himself sent off regardless anyway. And I mean the other one's just reckless. You can't come in at that speed and that intent, 2 foot up there like that. That's a straight red for
It's
me.
exactly what I don't understand how people are saying that's a harsh red card. I mean, look at how much air he's got up for the pitch, how the speed he's coming in. If he catches Lundstrom in any way, that's like a broken
That's a
ankle or
leg
something.
breaker.
Like
A leg breaker.
they tackles cannot be in the game anymore. They need to be cautioned. It needs to be a thing where like right, if you go in like that, you have to get sent because that's not allowed. It's dangerous play. It's under the rule book, I think anyway, in terms of what's a red card these days. And it was just a moment of madness, kind of in that spell of sort of 5 minutes. I mean, Roof coming on
Aye,
and immediately getting booked, then the two players getting sent off. It just was boiling over to a degree where
aye.
the
All that was
referee,
going to
sorry,
happen.
had to kind of control things.
But I've seen obviously people saying about us as well, obviously with Diomande sort of try to say it's similar to Celtic's win at Hearts. I'm like, I'm not really I think Diomande just goes for the ball. He's no, you know what I mean?
He kind of put the ones are always going to be difficult because it's
Oh,
depending on the angle you see them at. It's depending on. I think it is kind of the
it
same
is,
kind of
but
makey what Yang gets sent off for last week, but I still feel that Diomande pulled back for his kind of a lot quicker than maybe Yang did. They're difficult. I think the ones are going to get kind of be inconsistent all the time. Those kind of decisions, but we did probably get away with one there. We not getting enough kind of coverage, and then we just
John
had to
Souttar
see the game out obviously at the end.
decides to kill Martin Boyle. Decides, you know what? I'm just going to flatten you. I don't
I
know
don't know
what.
what the hell actually
There's,
happened there.
there's a stinger splash in midair. I don't know what that was, mate. He just clattered into him. Obviously, hope Martin Boyle's all right, but.
I've seen on Hibs Twitter and that. I think he's kind of stable and at home now, so obviously don't really want to see those kind of scenes on the football pitch. It's quite hard to see, obviously. So hopefully Martin Boyle's all right and playing again soon because it was looked nasty to be quite honest with you. And Suter's obviously all right to get kind of on with it after that. But it kind of had that tenacity. The game that a cup game would have, and just thankful we could kind of see it out, get through to Hampden again, where the draw will be made obviously later tonight after the Hearts game, and we'll see who we get in that draw. You're expecting Hearts to probably go through
Mm.
Aberdeen, Celtic, and obviously us. So four strong teams fighting it out, but we'll see who we get. And then we move on to Benfica on Thursday, obviously. Um, as we kind of spoke about throughout the opening of the episode, it was a kind of Goliath performance for everybody involved to go there. I wasn't really holding out much hope on the day of the game and leading up to
Aye.
the team that was announced and stuff. I was like, nah, I cannot see a way where we go and kind of maybe the hangover for the Motherwell game really create chances or have the guy in the right place to score the goals. And the team surprised me. The team put in a kind of Philippe Clement esque performance, really. Um, the man in your picture, Diomande, absolutely fantastic. And I mean, you're getting Neves for Benfica is apparently getting touted for 100 million to Man
I know.
United. Was he any better than Mohamed Diomande? I don't think so. So, nah, waste of money in my eyes. But no, obviously Benfica have a good side, and they kind of gave us problems throughout the game, which we knew they were. But the two goals are annoying me because of how kind of preventable they were, and the penalty. I mean, I just don't understand. Similar to the ones we've seen over the past week or so, what are you meant to do in that position to remove your hand? Like, I feel like they were two kind of hammer blows for us. But to get into the game again, like we did, to compete like we did after that, after we knew Benfica were obviously going to come out hungry and kind of want to go for us after that, we dealt and managed the game really well. We were just really unlucky to kind of an own goal and a penalty is harsh, but going into the game on Thursday, I'm optimistic now. I think
You're up for
obviously
it.
if we get more players kind of back in the fold again and beef that bench up a wee bit with the players that we've got to bring on, I think this could be another special night at Ibrox. To be honest with you, it would be a massive result to turn over Benfica, considering they're a Champions League team this season. So, bring it on for me.
Bring on. I think they're 100% gettable. I don't think they're anything special personally. I think obviously they try to use the rule book against you. Typical Argentina's, but they're always in the referee's face, always begging for everything. Di Maria's going to get a lovely reception when he comes over here, I'll tell you that much. But no, I think they're really gettable. And as I say, I'd start Kemar Roof. Dessers didn't really offer anything on Thursday. And as I say, I would just get right at them for the start as we probably will do. But aye, just right in for it.
Nah, and the team that I would play is that was obviously the team that started the other day, but that's the team I would play. I think Kemar Roof can't start another game at Rangers.
I'm
For me personally, that's the way I look at it. I want to keep Roof
European night, come
as
on.
fit as possible to where I would rotate him and Dessers, kind of play 60 minutes and then sub the other one on for the rest. I don't really think we can afford to lose Kemar Roof again, and I'm thinking of the game that he did then go and start where he started. I think it was St Johnstone at home after he was kind of back for the same kind of period off. He was coming on and playing 10, 20, half an hour of games, building up the minutes. And then as soon as he started the game, that was it. He was injured. And I want to keep Kamaru fit. So personally for me, I would start Dessers and I would keep Roof to the second half. But I wouldn't be surprised again if he maybe tries and
Yeah.
throws Roof in for something different because Dessers hasn't really filled himself with too much glory over the past couple of games.
You know it's only going to take Kemar with one chance, but takes Dessers like 5 or 6 to put the ball in the net. That's my only argument there. As I say, I obviously get the fitness point of view and also get obviously the injury thing, me, but I would just start him, man. Thursday night, Kemar Roof, I'd play him. Definitely same team for you, but I think I'd only change the man up top. But I could understand why you would start Dessers obviously ahead of him. Hopefully, regardless, I hope Kemar Roof comes into the game. But as I say,
Nah.
if that goes to one man and gets a chance, you can obviously rely on Kemar Roof, I feel, more than you could Dessers.
Nah, that's I feel the exact same. I mean, Kemar Roof is deadly when he's in the box, and he's going to provide a better kind of outlet than Dessers. I think Dessers' kind of work rate and he's running of the channels is a lot higher than Roof,
Aye.
which could maybe get us up the park in a game like this. But I think as the game kind of tires a wee bit in the second half, is depending on what the scoreline sits at. If we need to then go for it, or if Benfica are throwing stuff at us, I think having a Roof on the bench at that time would be key. But
I just
Matondo, obviously, he's going to be a ball carrier in this game. He's going to be a guy that will get us up the pitch, and he'll be a creative player. Still, personally, at the moment, I would prefer to have Sterling in there as the fit option and have Matondo off the bench. But
mm,
with the options that we have, I've got no problem with playing Matondo. Silva on the left hand side can just kind of keep carrying on what he's doing. Lawrence has been really good since he's come into the team, and that midfield is really functioning really well because I feel like they can all kind of rotate in between each other. And I mean, you see Lundstrom dropping back into back fives and stuff, and Lawrence then pushes back a wee bit to go next to Diamande. So I think this kind of works at the moment, this formation, and it definitely worked on Thursday. Um, Obviously, with Clement's kind of team selections, they are. I don't think I've been able to predict one right so far because he's just
aye.
kind of changes something about it. But as I say, Cantwell hopefully coming back into the mix. I would hope this game he would hopefully be on the bench, or Sunday will be involved. The other players obviously will need to kind of wait and see in the press conference on Wednesday. But aye, as you say, I don't think there's anything to really fear here. We're at home now. I think this is what we wanted to kind of take it back to Ibrox in a kind of stable situation, and we've been able to do that. So, aye, by no means I think we've played better teams at Ibrox and beat them. So, aye, bring it
I
on.
just straight away get right at them. I just think of the obviously the Braga game, another Portuguese team. And I just, as I say, that's what I'm saying to myself. Start Roof, man. Just start Roof. But I mean, Silva, that's another boy, as I say, but up for it. He was right up for it on Thursday. I wasn't expecting that much passion for him, man. Like, it was right up for it. But aye, I'm just get right at them early doors. As you say, it's funny that Man United obviously pay 100 million for that boy. You're obviously paying because you're Man United, but as I say, you look at Dio in the middle of the park there. That's a guy, if he keeps playing the way he does, I'd be shocked if
Aye,
he in the summer, man. I really would, because he's absolutely been sensational. Yalmaz as well. My boy's been fantastic, and Tav as well. Obviously, when Tav plays well, sometimes I feel like he just goes under the radar a bit, man. But like
it's just what you expect for
defense,
Tavernier,
even
to be honest.
defensively, I know it is. But even defensively, I think he's been fantastic. The only concern I have, honestly, at the back is Connor Goldson and Shooter. I thought Shooter was better than Goldson last night, but Connor Goldson, the last couple of games for me, I just don't know what's going on with him. It's concerned, man.
Nah, I'm concerned in terms of how much pressure he puts us under when he's got the ball, or when he's trying
Come
to
on in.
do something, like just do something simple and clear the ball. Like he tries to take the extra touch or pass it back to the goalie or things like that. And Jules, obviously, with Theo Bear last week, I mean, he get absolutely bullied. So he held himself pretty well against Benfica's attackers. I thought he was unlucky. He shouldn't have went for the one with the own goal. But I thought he had a decent game actually on Thursday. And it needs to be, like we said last week, it needs to be a 10 out of 10 performance pretty much all over the pitch here. Because Benfica will come, and they've got players that can obviously turn it on. David Neres obviously was unlucky with a couple of chances that he had the other day. Di Maria, obviously, as you say, the reception that he'll get because he probably should have been off the pitch by the end of it. And then some of the other players that Benfica have got can definitely do the business. So, aye, nothing to fear in my opinion. I feel like that's what the manager will be saying to all these players as well. There is literally nothing to fear. We've done that kind of hard part going over there first and getting a result. Now it's just to finish off a job at home, and hopefully we can do that on Thursday. Really looking forward to the game, as we kind of were speaking last week. Is a totally different attitude towards it now. It was kind of just who cares, focus on
Okay.
the league, but aye, let's try
That's
and
still, by the way,
make a push here.
that's still my thing. Obviously, if we go through, we go through. It'd be fantastic. You want to beat Benfica, obviously, because when the way they get the penalty, and I was thinking to myself, right, nah, no, I want to beat you. But I still focused on obviously Sunday the league and also the cup and what have you. But to get through here would be massive. I mean, you look at the rest of the teams, obviously for the UK standpoint that are in it, obviously Liverpool. yeah, you expected that result, but I did not expect Roma to turn around and absolutely batter Brighton. I thought Brighton would
Nah,
have had a chance, and then West Ham. I mean, surely they'll turn that around.
nah.
But
I would imagine West Ham will turn it around, and then you've got obviously Brighton are out, Liverpool are through. Um, I think is that everybody in the Europa League and Conference League. Obviously, Aston Villa are 0-0
uh,
with
the
Ajax.
Ajax,
I would expect them to probably win that game as well.
Leverkusen
So,
and all, by the way, turning that around. I did not. I thought
aye,
they'd and absolutely dominated that game, but they
the
dropped.
teams that are still involved are top teams. And we've
This is
shown that we can kind of compete there. So,
And this is obviously as Rangers fans, we know that this competition is so much better than the Champions League because the Champions League it's just so predictable. You know the teams that are going to be in it, but generally it's just more exciting to watch the Europa League.
no, it is because the Champions League's literally on this week, and I couldn't care less about watching it. I just don't care. It's not even because Rangers are playing on Thursday that it's going to be like, oh, Europa League's better. I just feel that that's where the better teams lie now. I don't know if that's just me. Obviously, the Champions League's got all this kind of money, kind of whatever about it. I think the teams in there now, it's not really competitive enough anymore. I mean, you've got Real Sociedad going
Basic,
against, was it PSG? Like,
basically, once you get to the sort of last king weight, it basically is the Super League when you think on it. Really, for me, like there's no really like shocker teams really that make it through, man. It's
I just think it's been boring for the past year there. I just think there's no kind of incentive for me to really watch it. But on a Thursday when it comes around, I mean, you've got the Conference League to the Europa League. I think there's good matches kind of every game week that are interesting to kind of take a look at. And as you say, you've got like Roma and you've got Rangers, Leverkusen, Liverpool. Like some of the best teams in Europe are already in that competition. So I feel like I'm a Thursday night man personally. So hopefully we stay in there. But it's going to be an interesting one going into the game of Thursday. Hopefully we can provide another big showing. Let us know in the comments your team for this one and how you're kind of feeling going into the Benfica game. And we'll be back next week covering that Benfica game and covering the Dundee game going into the international break. So we'll see you then.